So we are going to be working slightly differently this week because we are looking at recent research that I was just reading about at the weekend, looking for inspiration for the class. And we're saying that scientists have now proven that practicing yoga is really beneficial for preventing osteoporosis. So apparently when you hold a posture and you have muscles working against each other, one muscle contracting, one muscle extending, that produces these osteocytes. And yes, I never had heard of osteocytes before, but apparently they are part of the main bone reproducing cells structure of the body. So that's what we're going to be looking at tonight. So make sure that you stay hydrated, even if it's just a rinsing of water in your mouth rather than drinking lots of water at one time. We are going to begin on our backs in semi-supine. If you can have your strap, your belt, yoga belt or tie available to hand, please do that. Otherwise, ease yourselves down to semi-supine. Good to see you all tonight. You'll be finding that we're going to be holding postures a little bit longer. Just changing the way we look at the practice. First part of the practice is going to be pretty much things that we do regularly. So from this position in your semi-supine, breathing in, and as you exhale, allow yourself to sigh deeply through the mouth. And just continue like that. Deep breath in through the nose, sighing out deeply through the mouth. Now, as you continue for about another 4 or 5 sighs, as you release the breath out through the mouth and sigh deeply, also begin to invite weight in through the feet. Breathing in, releasing from that weight. And then invite weight as you sigh the breath out through the feet and into the sacrum, almost this lower part of the body. Breathing in, release that weight, and then feet, sacrum, and shoulder blades. Breathing in to release. And then your final breath, sighing the breath out, feet, sacrum, shoulder blades, and the back of the head. Now, as you release from the weight, allow the lower back, so the back of the waist, to lift off the floor so you come into your feminine position. And as you exhale, ease yourself into that pelvic tilt, lengthening the spine along the floor so that you're just gently lengthening and allowing the front of the pubis to lift up towards the navel. As you inhale, do the opposite. Lift the back of the waist, tilt the pelvis in the opposite direction. So you're moving from these positions, from this weight bearing into a pelvic tilt. And then we're going to bring in the arms. So let's all breathe out together, lengthen the spine to the floor, and then pick the arms up, breathing in. Release the arms up and overhead alongside of the ears, lifting the back of the waist off the floor. As you breathe out, release the arms forward and down, lengthening through the back of the body, and maybe just starting to lift the hips, maybe just a hover off the floor. Breathing in, swoop the arms up and overhead, find that space to lengthen out. And as you breathe out, it's almost like an extreme pelvic tilt, just gently lifting the sacrum off the floor. Now notice as you're doing this, the invitation to wait every time you breathe out. So inviting the weight into the body, especially into the feet in this position. And then I want you to gradually start to lift the hips and the pelvis off the floor at the same time as you're breathing out and bringing the arms down beside the hips. So it's just a gradual lengthening and then lowering of the upper, middle and lower back before breathing in, taking the arms up and overhead again, not in the back of the waist being drawn off the floor. Breathing out, feel that you're taking that step forward into something that looks a little bit like bridge pose. Releasing out of it before breathing in and taking the arms up and overhead again. Take twice more like that. So after the next time, just notice how it feels in bridge, making sure that you've got lots of weight invited into the feet, maybe even inviting weight into the hands so that you get this sense of connecting to the floor. And then breathing out from here, releasing down one vertebra at a time, upper, middle and lower back. Now, I know some of you will be able at that point to be able to reach for the feet, but this is going to be the first use of your straps if you can't reach for the feet. So I'm just going to demonstrate here. I've got my feet still hip distance apart, and I've just wrapped the strap or the tie around the front of my ankles, and I'm holding on to the strap so that as I take that movement again, I'm going to breathe in. This time as I breathe out, I'm going to invite the weight into the feet, into the sacrum. I'm going to start to lift the hips, lift the hips and send the thighs forward. And that means I'm going to breathe in at that point. And I'm then going to take myself up into bridge, either holding on to my ankles, feet, or strap, so that I can really enjoy this sense of actively keeping weight through the feet and the lower part of the shoulder blades, drawing the chest up towards the chin, reaching forward with the thighs and the shins. Then I'm peeling down upper, middle and lower back. Okay, if you haven't done that already, please do it with me this time. So from this position, exhaling, find that length and invite weight through the back of the body, especially the feet. Once the tail starts to lengthen under, then breathe in, send the weight forward through the fronts of the shins and the fronts of the thighs, so that you end up eventually rolling on to the very tops of the shoulder blades. Once you're there and feeling fairly stable, drawing the chest towards the chin, I want you to hold it there for 6 breaths. Breathing in deeply. And as you breathe out, re-invite that weight through the feet. Deep breath number 2. Breathing out, holding, inviting weight into the feet. Deep breath number 3. Keeping that invitation, keeping that sense of grounding. Deep breath number 4. Can you get any more lift up through the top chest? Breathing out, inviting weight through the feet. Number 5. And last one, number 6. This time as you breathe out, release the strap a little bit and begin to slide down one vertebra at a time, beginning with the upper back, lengthening out. So you're not just going down, you're lengthening along the spine, all the way to the floor. Once you're there, take a little moment just to release the strap, catch your breath, and then sliding the arms out in line with the shoulders, heel toe the feet out to the edge of the mat. And just take a few of those rolls through the feet just to release into the lower back. So inviting weight, big toe side of the right foot, little toe side of the left foot, legs moving to the left, back to the center, and then easing over to the right. Back to the middle. We're just going to do a couple of these as releases. Center and over to the right. Lovely job. Okay, as you ease back to the center, we're going to heel toe the feet back into semi-supine. And we're going to bring the right knee on the exhale to the chest. From here, we're going to extend that right leg out along the floor. So scuff the heel along the floor. Reaching through the heel and then extending the right heel up towards the sky. Maybe inviting the right leg into the body a little bit with this extended leg. From there, bending into the knee, knee to chest, slide the same leg, the right heel out along the floor, keep reaching into the heel, extend the heel up to the sky. And maybe at this point, we're going to hold it for a little while. You can clasp your hands around the back of the thigh or the back of the shin. Keep the back of the waist on the floor and keep extending up through the heel and softening into the hip. If you feel that your knee starts to bend on this right leg, please back off. Take the leg a little bit further away. So to get the full connection with the hamstring, you need an extended leg. Now I'm going to slightly change this movement into a stabilizing foundation move. So I want you to keep the back of the waist on the floor, reach for your strap, and loop the strap around the ball of the right foot or the instep of the right foot. Still activating the right leg. I'm holding the strap in, well, I'm holding one hand on each end of the strap. Now I'm going to blow your mind a little bit because we're going to keep this right leg where it is. We're going to extend the left leg out along the floor, and then we're going to lift the left leg up to the sky to join the right. Now, keeping a hold of my right leg and keeping it stable, I'm going to start to draw some circles in the air with my left leg. Now, there can be small circles. You could hold the strap with your right hand, if that makes you feel a little bit more stable, as long as the right leg is still and it's the left leg that's circling. If you feel that you can keep stable in your right leg, please feel free to make those circles with the left leg bigger. If you feel that you're losing stability or the back of your waist is easing off the floor, then make the circles with the left leg smaller. So I'm kind of multitasking here. So not only am I giving you a really good hamstring stretch on your right leg, but I'm also giving you a core movement and a hip release. Okay, change direction with your circles with the left leg. If at any point you feel that you need to rest or the back of your waist is coming off the floor, bring your right foot to the floor and continue to circle your left leg. Nice. Okay, so from here, I'm going to slow my circles down in the left side. And I'm just going to bring my left knee to the chest and extend my left leg along the floor, digging the heel in. And then from here, I'm actually going to take a hold of my strap with my left hand, bend my right knee out to the side, and bring my right foot to press inside of the left inner thigh. So I'm doing lying down tree pose, Vrikasana, but I'm actually holding my foot in place in the strap. Yeah, so far so good. So imagine you're standing on that left leg, so you want the foot heel to the floor, toes pointing to the ceiling. Now you can either stay in this version of tree pose, or if you don't have a knee injury, because I think that if you've got knee issues, you might not want to do the next one. You can take your right foot off the inside of your thigh and slide the right foot over towards the left hip. Now I'm just going to stand and show you it standing, because you won't be able to see me doing it lying down, but you're doing it lying down to start with. So you would start with the right foot inside of the left inner thigh. If you want to take it further, lift the outer edge, the little toe side of the right foot up towards the hip, and allow the right knee to drop down towards the bottom of the mat, or to point towards the bottom of the mat. So it's just an extended version of tree. We don't teach it very often, which is why I'm thinking I wanted to do it with you this evening. But be careful if you have got knee issues. So from this position, we are ready to bring the right knee to the chest. Take the belt off the right leg. We're going to do a little osteopath twist. So we're going to put the right foot on the left thigh, and we're going to take a twist over to the left, tucking that right hip under, and maybe taking cat's tail, your choice. Bending the left heel towards the buttock and reaching down for that left foot with the right hand. So lots of different options there. So, well done. Okay, from here, we're going to change sides and go through that little sequence. So I'm breathing in, I'm releasing the left leg, and then I'm sliding the right foot into semi-supine. Initially, I'm going to slide my left knee into the chest, pop my left foot into the strap, extend that left leg out. Sorry, I think I did a bit of a warm-up here. I don't want the foot in the strap. I want the left leg coming towards the chest. It's a bit too early for the strap. Then I'm going to bend the knee again, left leg, slide the heel along the floor. As I bring the leg up to the chest this time, I'm going to clasp the hands behind the back of the left thigh or the shin to maintain that extension, actively breathing in to extend the heel up towards the sky, and as I breathe out to relax into the hip. So a few times like that, keeping the back of the waist on the floor, actively, well, reaching into the hamstring, I'm guessing. Remember, you can back off at any point. From there, we're going to add into that by looping our strap around that extended left leg. Do you remember what we did on the other side? So we kept the left leg stable, we extended the right leg, picked up the right leg, I'm holding my belt with my left hand, and then I'm going to start to draw circles with my right leg. Lovely. Keeping the back of my waist on the floor. If I feel confident enough to move to a bigger circle with the right leg, please do, but don't maneuver or adjust your left leg. Keep that stable, keep that lengthening. So we've got this multitasking movement of inviting weight into the back of the sacrum. So we're actively bringing some osteocytes into the back of the waist and hips. Okay, change direction with the leg. Still circling the right leg. Doing great. Well done. Keeping that wonderful control. Slide the right knee to the chest. Extend the right leg along the floor. Remember that lying down tree pose. So either inviting the ball of the heel of the left foot inside of the right inner thigh and holding it there with the strap. Or if you want to take it further, bring the outside edge of the left spiral up towards the right hip, allowing the left knee to release down towards the foot. So lots of different variations on that tree pose. Take a few deep breaths while you're there. And then just to make sure we've completely covered all our bases, loop the belt off that left foot, slide the left knee in the air and cross the left leg over to the right for osteopath. Tuck in the right hip under, maybe adding in cat's tail. So reaching for the right foot with the left hand. So lots of variations that you can bring into these moves. Good. So from this position, we're going to change positions. So I'm easing myself out of here. I'm going to come back onto my back, bring my knees to my chest. Keep the legs together and just draw some circles in the air with the knees just to massage out the lower back. And in the opposite direction. So before we come into our little vinyasa that leads into some standing postures, just want to do a few openings in our cat position. So just rolling over onto the side, bring yourself up onto all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, spreading into the hands. And basically what I'm going to ask you to do is first of all, just lengthen forward into your upward facing cat, feeling as though you're drawing the hands towards the knees. So not physically, but pulling the mat towards the knees. Exhaling, taking that into angry cat, actively drawing the ribcage and lifting the front pubics. Breathing in. Take that back into up facing cat, sliding that top chest forward. See if you can take at least 3 breaths here. Breathing in and breathing out. Just try and draw the hands closer to the knees. Breathing in, lengthen forward. Breathing out, draw the hands closer to the knees. One more time. From there, as you exhale, Take a full lift into angry cat pose. Let the head and neck release. Pressing down from the tops of the toes and breathe deeply into this rounded back position. Stay with it. Try and reach up to every part of your spine with every part of the front body. From this position, slide in the next exhale, your bottom to your heels. Taking the gaze forward. So you just bring the bottom to the heels and looking at the hands. From that position, I'm going to get you to turn your hands out to the side. So pointing the fingers outwardly towards the edge of the mat. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. Now, as you go back onto all fours, you can keep the hands, fingers pointing away, or you can complete the movement and bring the fingers in to point towards the knees. Any of those variations. Again, what I'm trying to get you to think about is weight bearing into the fingers. So whether you've got the hands turned out to the edge of the mat or turned towards your knees, try and spread into your fingers, feeling the base of the fingers on the floor, rather than just taking the weight through the wrists. In fact, if you're feeling really brave, if you've got issues with the wrists, don't do this. If you haven't got any issues with the wrists, see if you can just lift the wrist off the floor, but keep the fingers on the floor. Okay, just giving you options. Don't do it if you've got RSI or any of those other problems with the wrists. Okay, ease back out. Turn the hands forward again. Sit back on the heels and shake the wrists as if you're trying to get rid of the hands. Yeah, so all these weight bearings, quite a lot of where we feel we get these problems in our hands, especially in the first finger and the thumb, especially in that joint there. Okay, from here, I'm going to get you to ease forward, taking the arms forward, again spreading into the fingers, and this time peeling yourself up into downward facing dog. Having a little walk out with the dog. Bending one knee, extending the opposite heel to the floor. Lengthening from the tail to the crown of the head. And then bending both knees. Reaching into the fingers. And again, if you can, see if you can lift the wrists off the floor. So you're just taking a little bit of weight through the fingers, not the wrists. Breathe deeply. Be careful if you've got wrist issues. You might want to leave this bit out. Couple more breaths. From here, walking the feet forward to the hands. Easing it into that flat back position and then clasping the hands behind the back, reaching the backs of the hands up towards the sky and the head towards the shins. Really enjoying that stretch out with the shoulders. Again, we're going to hold it a little bit longer than we normally do. If you feel that you're getting a bit dizzy or feel a little bit sick, or you've got high blood pressure, please come out before I give the instruction. Otherwise, stay with it. Keep releasing. Keep feeling that extension into the shoulders. Deep breaths. Inviting weight into the feet on every exhale. Well done. Breathing in, bending into the knees. From here, release the hands, Swoop the arms up and out to the side. Bring the palms together. And as you exhale, slide the hands down in front of the heart into Tadasana. Let me just change my little camera around. So take a drink if you need one. Just swill the water around your mouth. Don't take massive amounts. So obviously, if we're going to be working with bone density, we need to start doing much more balances. And when I thought of balances, of course, I thought about the dragons. So we're going to bring in a little bit of dragons. I am changing it around a little bit, but you know the score. Let me just show you. Let's just practice our dragon moves. So if you take the weight into your right leg, lift your left leg and take your arms into your wonderful dragon wings with relaxed wrists. Perfect. Okay, change sides. Bend into the knees, take the weight into the left foot, lift the right leg. Perfect. You get to pass and release. Okay, so that's your first move. Now remember, with these dragon moves, we go from our dragon position to warrior 3. Now I'm going to start with a modified warrior 3, hands in prayer position at the heart. So as you come to stand at the front of the mat, I want you to take the weight into your right leg, lift up your dragon's wings and lift your left leg in the sky. As you exhale, you're going to bring the hands into prayer position at the heart and take your left leg back into warrior 3 pose. I'm going to try and get you to hold it for 6. For 5, keep feeling the weight through the foot. For 4, keep softening into the knee. It's not a fully straight leg. For 3. For 2. And for 1, well done. Striding back with that left foot, high standing lunge. From here, you're going to take those turns. So you're literally keeping the feet in the same position. Take your right hand and spin around to the back of your mat, leading with the right hand. Facing the back of the mat, just spinning on the feet. We'll come back to the center, shield your face from the dragon, and spin around to face the front of the mat, leading with the left hand. That's it, brilliant. Okay, twice more. Shielding the face from the dragon, spin around to the back of the mat. Come back through the shielding your face to the front of the mat. Left hand forward, right hand back. Great. From this position, you're going to take a little bit more turning to the right, bringing your right hand to the back of the left leg and your left arm up alongside of the face. So you're taking a twisting, back, stretchy, standing lunge. Lovely. Again, I'm holding you there for a little bit longer than you normally would. So try and feel your feet. Try and keep inviting weight into the feet, but lifting up with buoyancy through the body. That's going to be a theme of the practice. Okay, well done. From this position, you're going to release the arms, bring the hands back to prayer position, and then turn a half turn to the left. So I'm going to be facing you. If you're not facing me and you want to be so that you can see, please do that. If you're facing away, you might want to change. I'm just going to put my other little top on here so that you can see me. Okay, I'm just aware I might mingle in with the white behind me. So I'll put this little top on. Hopefully that helps. Okay, so from this position, just to make it easier for you to see me, we're going to take on warrior 2. So I'm going to turn in, my left toes 30 degrees, my left heel out. My right foot is going to turn out 90 degrees. Now I want to make sure that that right knee stays in line with the right ankle. My shoulder blades slide back and down. I'm going to ease my arms out and in line with my shoulders, palms facing upwards. As I inhale, I'm going to roll onto the heel of my right foot and touch my hands together overhead. As I exhale, I'm going to turn my palms down and take my warrior two position. I'm going to do that 3 more times. Breathing in, lift onto that heel. As I breathe out, bend into the knee, the right knee, warrior two. 1 more time. And then from here, I'm going to hold warrior two. Lengthening through my fingertips, inviting weight into the little toe side of both feet and sending my gaze down my right arm. Keep reaching through the fingertips, keep softening into the shoulders. Feel the weight through the feet and breathe deeply. Every time you exhale, feeling the weight into the feet. Every time you inhale, just making sure that you're softening into the shoulders, softening into the hips. Feet and legs should be strong. Upper body should be buoyant. Lovely. Okay, from this position, you're going to take your left hand in front of your pubis, turn your right palm back to face upwards, and take a full reverse movement. Lengthening back, pressing the left hand towards the right hip. You're holding it there, couple more breaths. And then as you exhale, this is going to make side angle stretch. So you're going to release the arms. You're going to bring the right arm in front of the right thigh. Turn to look at the left arm. Now you can bring the elbow, the right elbow onto the thigh, but you must lift out of the waist, not drop into the hips. You could slide your right arm down the front of your right shin. Remember, we're going to hold this for 6. Breathe deeply for 5. If you feel you can go deeper, keep going for 4. Don't let that left shoulder roll forward. For 3. Keep the head, chin moving to the back of the throat. For 2. Well done. 1 more. Breathing in, ease out, back to warrior two. Turn the feet back to parallel and then spin around back to the front of your mat. Finishing off in your lovely dragon position. Beautiful. Good. Okay, from here, you're going to release that left leg. Bring the weight into the left leg and you're going to change legs. Lift the right. Dragon position. From there, bring the hands into prayer position. Take that right leg out behind, warrior three, modified. Hold for 6. For 5. Brilliant. For 4. Keep finding the weight through the foot. For 3. For 2. And last one, striding back to bring yourself into high standing lunge. Excellent. Okay, we're going to do our movements again. So we're going to spin around to the back of the mat. This time you're leading with the left hand. So you're going to spin to the right, to the back of your mat, leading with the left, right hand out behind. Shield your face from the dragon. To the front of your mat, leading with the right. Brilliant. Shield your face. To the back of the mat, leading with the left. You're spinning on the feet. Back heel stays lifted. This is your final one. Woohoo. Now from there, I'm going to turn around to the right. So I'm going to step back to face you. So we're just going to change legs. Same thing with our warriors. This time we're going to turn the right toes in and the left foot out. Keep reaching into the outside edge of both feet. Lift the palms to face upwards and bend into the left knee. Beautiful. Breathing in, lift onto the heel of the left foot. Touch the hands together overhead. Breathing out, bend into the left knee. Open the palms up. 2 more. Breathing in, reach onto the heel. Breathing out, lengthen. And again. As you take the arms out into warrior 2 pose, keep the arms extended, turn the palms to face down and gaze at the left fingertips. Deep breaths into warrior 2. Breathing in, feel the feet. Breathing out, breathing out, feel the feet. Breathing in, lighten the torso. Breathing out, feel the feet. Feel free to move if you need to. If you feel that you could go wider, or you feel that your knees bending in, you don't have to stay static. Take this time. Bear the weight of your body with joy and with buoyancy. Good. Okay, you've got about another 2 breaths, I think. Woo, it's warm work. Okay, from there, you're going to take your right hand in front of the body, turn your left palm up, and do that lovely side back position. It's just preparing us for our side angle stretch. So from this position, we're going to ease out. We're going to take the left hand in front of the left leg. Slide the right arm alongside of the ear. Remember, you can balance on your left forearm in this position. You can gaze into the inner right arm, or you can start to bring your left arm down in front of the left shin, but you mustn't roll forward. The shoulders have to stay stacked. Deep breaths, you're into 5. 4, 3, 2, the last one. Well done. Breathing in, peel yourself back into warrior 2. From here, we're going to take a little breather. So spin around, bring the hands either side of your front foot and step back into downward facing dog. Have a little walk out with the dog. And then from there, from down dog, either you're going to come to cat or ideally into plank pose. Again, spreading through the wrists, spreading through the hands, so the weight is not just moving into the wrist, but you're supporting yourself with your fingers. Plank pose, lengthening, extending, feeling that sense of being able to reach into the floor with the hands, keeping the core dialed up. Bend the knees, slide the crown of the head forward, and gracefully ease yourself down to the floor. Come to rest the head on the hands. Take a breath. Or 2. Or more. Okay. We're going to take this into recovery position. So I'm just going to shuffle over to the right edge of my mat, slide my left knee out to the side, and turn my head to the right. So take this time just to enjoy the breather, because we're then going to take this into a half locust lift position, which we're also going to hold for the count of 6. Now with these holds, I'm always going to encourage you to hold with me, but if you feel it's just not in your ability tonight, please take responsibility, release out when you need to. So remember, this is opposite arm to leg locust. I'm just going to shuffle back a little bit so you can see me. So the first thing I'm going to do from my recovery position is bring my forehead back onto my hands. I'm then going to lengthen my right arm forward. So I'm just resting the forehead on my left hand. Now from here, this left leg is going to reach out to join my right leg, but it's not going to go to the floor. So the next time I inhale, I'm going to take that left leg. It's going to reach out behind me. And as I exhale, I'm going to engage with the lower belly, knit the rib cage together, lift the right arm, left leg, head, neck and shoulders, inviting weight into the left hand for 6. Keep reaching through the fingertips and the toes for 5. For 4, keep breathing. For 3, can you lift any more? For 2, and then last one, relax down, rest the head on the back of the hands. Have a little rock from side to side with the hips. When you're ready, ease over to the left side of your mat so you can slide the right leg out into the recovery position. Turn the head to the left. This is your chance to take a little bit of deep recovery to prepare yourself for this next weight bearing extension. Now it's a fairly safe one because you've got stability through, in this side, it'll be through your right hand. If you're a person that wants to try and lift both legs and both arms and hold for 6, please feel free to do that. I'm not teaching it just because I don't want to have to talk you through low back issues. This one that I'm doing will work for most people unless you've got severe low back problems. Make sure you dial up your core. So slide the head, forehead onto the hands. Take the left arm forward. When you're ready, you're going to inhale. You're going to release your right leg out behind you. Don't pop it down. Extend through it. And then engage into the core, lifting that front pubis, knitting the rib cage together, using the right hand as stability. Reach out for 6. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Last one. And release. Little rock from side to side with the hips. Your heart will be pounding, you know, it's a really good way to raise the heart rate. Okay, from there, reach the hands back to the floating ribs. Draw the elbows back, lift that top chest, peel all the way back, this time extended child position. Bottom to the heels, head releasing down between the arms. Now we're going to work on the joints in the fingers. So I'm going to get you to come onto the fingertips, lifting the palms from the floor. That will potentially lift the head. Slide the shoulder blades down the back, keep the head more or less in between the arms, and then walk the hands on the fingertips over to the left. See how far you can get, but don't put the hands down, stay on the fingertips. Keep reaching into the fingertips. That's your stability, that's your weight-bearing area. Soften the shoulders, soften the ribs, soften the neck. Good. Breathing in, walk the hands back to the middle and then over to the right. Same thing here. Stay on the fingertips. Keep reaching into the tips of the fingers and softening in the other parts of the body, in the shoulders and the ribs and the neck, the hips, almost as if you're standing on your fingertips. Excellent. Okay, from here, walk the fingertips back to the middle. Again, if you've got wrist issues, do not do this. Just do a regular down-facing dog. If you haven't got wrist issues, see if you can come into a finger-based down dog. So can you balance on your fingers and take yourself into down dog? Don't worry if you can't. Remember, I'm just activating in different areas. Please don't fall over. And then from here, walk the feet forward towards the hands. Flatten out with the back. And then from there, let the head and neck relax and clasp the hands behind the back of the head. Again, inviting weight into the feet. This time we're going to roll up to standing, head last. Bending into the knees. Keep reaching, keep lengthening out with the neck. Even as you roll up one vertebrae at a time, the elbows are still pointing to the floor. And then eventually, when your head's ready to press into the back of the hands, open the elbows out to the side. So you end up here, standing with the hands clasped behind the head. From here, we're just going to take a little side stretch. So I'm going to keep my right hand behind my head. I'm going to bring my left arm down to the side of my leg, and I'm going to take a little side stretch over to the left. Keeping that elbow pointing to the ceiling, maybe a little bit of softness in the knees. Seeing if by holding this a little bit longer, I can go a little bit deeper. Feel the feet. Okay, well done. To come back up, release the right arm, pivot forward, hang out for a second, and then slide the left arm up above the head and bring it behind the head. Side stretch over to the right. Again, pointing that left elbow up towards the ceiling. Deep release, side body. Maybe by holding this a little bit longer, you can lengthen more. Keep lifting up with this front pubis. And then to come out, release the left hand, roll forward, down you go. And then from there, pick up through the right. Bring both arms back into Tadasana. From this position, we have to do it, don't we? So we're going to do our tree pose standing. But I thought just for a variation, if you want to, you can use your strap. So it's just a variation. So what I'm actually going to do, I've got a little loop at the end of my strap. I'm going to balance on my right leg and I'm going to loop my strap around my left foot. So I'm actually going to do tree pose, holding the foot in place with the strap. Now feel free to release to any walls or furniture if you need to. Keep lifting out of the lower pubis. If you wanted to take this further into that deeper tree pose, remember you can bring the little toe side of your left foot up to the hip and let the left knee release down. So we've got different variations here if you want to take them. Essentially though, I just want you to have some sort of balance so that you can find this strength of reaching into this standing leg. Not sinking into the hips, lifting out of the hips. Lovely. Release. Undo to change legs. Okay, this time we're balancing on the left. Loop the belt around the right, so it might be you take tree pose, just holding the foot or holding the belt. It's a nice way to do it. Got a lot more space in the body with the strap. If you want to add in, remember, you can bring the little toe side, the outside edge of the foot, up towards the left hip. How are we doing with that? Lovely. And then from there, feel free to release any arm that you can, or even both arms. If you want to stay holding on to the foot, that's absolutely fine by me. If you want to balance against anything, that's also fine by me. Excellent job. And then gently easing out, bringing yourself into standing Tadasana. Woo! Doing hot yoga here. So releasing the strap off to the side. I just want you to spend a few moments just connecting through the feet to the earth. Feet hip distance apart. Shoulders relaxed. Little lift up through the inner thighs, up into the groin. Weight moving into all either 3 or 4 corners, depending whether you perceive the heel as having an outside and an inside or just a center. Lovely. So from this position, we're going to bring ourselves to the floor. I don't mind how you do it. Make it as graceful or not as the case may be. I would like you to start off with your semi-supine position. So just ease yourself in semi-supine. I'm going to take a little roll down just because it feels good. Again, please feel free just to rinse your mouth if you need some water. From there, slide in to semi-supine. Now I asked you to come into this position just so that at the beginning of the practice, I asked you to think about inviting weight into certain areas of the body. There is no right or wrong answer to this, but just allow yourself to investigate now the change in distribution of weight, if there is one. Take a few centering breaths. And then from there, if you feel that you have got this centered foundation, please feel free to ease yourself into Shavasana. Now, it isn't often we get a chance to practice in this lovely heat. And of course, this will affect your practice. Your muscles will potentially be more pliable. You will radiate warmth within your body. So just for a few moments, perhaps you could take yourself to your favorite sunny place. Maybe a beach, or sat by a stream or a babbling brook. Or maybe up in the mountains, seeing wonderful views, deep blue skies. Wherever it is, for a few moments, allow yourself to connect with those feelings you have when you're in that sunshine place in your life. Connect with the things that you would see. Things that you would hear. Things that you would smell. The mind finds this softness, this release. Allow it to seep into your body. It's time to ease yourself away from your favorite sunny spot. Don't rush. Don't feel you've got to suddenly drag yourself. Take your time. Maybe even feel that you can just lock that favorite spot in your heart so you can access it anytime you need it. As you take a few little releases, perhaps stretching and sighing and yawning. Maybe bringing the knees to the chest and having a little rock from side to side. Eventually rolling over onto your right side to bring yourself into sitting. Now in the hot weather, it's wonderful to have this little pranayama at your fingertips. It's called Sitali breathing. Now what you do with this is you allow the air to pass over your tongue. So you can do it one of two ways. You can either curl your tongue like you're sucking the air up through the straw of your tongue. You make that movement on the inhale and then you just swallow as you breathe out. Or swallow whenever you need to. You don't have to swallow every exhale. That production of saliva will mean that you've got to start that swallowing process. If you can't curl your tongue, and some people can't, doesn't make you weird. What you can do is draw the air across a flat tongue through the 2 middle teeth like this. So that you're sucking the breath across the philia, the little capillaries of the tongue. It's the same thing, it's just a different way of doing it. So it's a really good practice if you are feeling very thirsty, but you don't have access to water, or you don't want to drink any more water because you need to go to the loo, or you just feel that you want to do something else rather than drink. It's just promoting the saliva glands and refreshing the mouth. So with that thought, that top tip, breathing in, gather the energy, gaze up to the thumbs, press the palms together. And as you exhale, just seal the practice down through the third eye to the lips and the throat and to the heart. Very well done for joining me on this Scorchio evening.